All right. Hello YouTube. Hello guys on here on YouTube. Um, in this video, I'm gonna try to talk about what I'm going through on the day after working 2 days at my employer, and my general thoughts, how my body's responding. Um, so today is Thursday. And I wound up having to call out of work this morning, which was a really good thing that I did. Originally, I called, said I was going to be in late, but after a couple of hours, I couldn't do it. Um, my body's responding kind of like a post-workout, right? My strenuous back issue seems to inflame when I do too much activity. And I know this, but I'm trying my best to not run errands, trying to find different ways to do different things that I need to do for me, like cook, like making sure that I do my 3 meals while trying to get things done. Like, I'm someone who needs, in order for me to think clearly, I have to be in a clean environment, somewhat clean. Naturally there are things in places that only I think I would know, but anyone in my environments would be able to figure out most of my stuff. I'm someone that likes to be well organized, organized enough to know that I can find things when I need them. I don't like too much. I tried to buy into I forget the name off the top of my head, but it's a minimalist lifestyle, right? Only really buying the things that I need as opposed to focusing on splurging or things that don't make sense, or all the things that come into our lives because we're literally advertised to our entire lives and pretty much everywhere that we go. I have a phone, receiving text messages all the time. I have to turn off my notifications because I have no time for me. It's always something someone's trying to advertise or promote, or someone else's activity that has bogged down my day. So I haven't had enough time to focus on me. Me calling out of work was me listening to my body saying I cannot do this today. Luckily, I have the next 3 days off anyway, so I can try to figure out how I'm gonna make the money I need to pay all my needs. It's been a struggle. I laid in bed pretty much the entire day. My back's been hurting the entire day as well. As I said, it's similar to working out, except for, it's like the post-workout. My body's uncomfortable, the stress that your muscles go through when you work out, except for this time, it's the relation is pain. Associated with the discomfort. I wish someone had told me, and I thought that I would have figured this out too, but in reality, like my thought process is that I know that I shouldn't work, right? I shouldn't work, but then I also have to balance that with, how am I going to put food on my table? The government always takes a long time. That I think they do better with unemployment, because with unemployment it was only like a week or two. With TDI, the TDI form, they want you to go online to fill out a form. Now, I went online to fill out the form, and the form's not user friendly. one of the issues with the form is that instead of asking us what our issue is, it tells us that this is your issue, or else uh, you have to fill it out a certain way, or else you'll be denied, essentially, right? So I didn't know how to fill out the form. I actually talked to the attorney that I had been speaking to, and in our conversation, when he was the only one that mentioned, not to work at all, like don't work at all, which is why I was like, I know that, but sometimes I need that confirmation, and I wish I could have spoken to him more, and I kept trying to. This is the attorney that withdrew from the case, right? We've never had a full conversation about back issues. No doctor that I've spoken to told me, "Oh, you know what? You should go rest. Just rest. Don't work." Not a single one of the 4 doctors that I spoke to actually said that. The only person that told me that was the attorney. Um, he was like, "Oh, you need don't." He didn't say it in so many words, but he said, "Apply for TDI." He gave me a process to follow. Um, like I said, it wasn't not like he didn't say it in a caring way. To me, I've always felt like just a number to them. Even just going into their office, they have so many cases. I they don't treat you like a human, right? It's the same thing with City Side. They didn't treat me like a human. He's just churning numbers. He's looking at uh, his money. He has on the doctor over at City Side. He has on like this Armani shirt. Um, like yeah, nothing to me screams that he actually cares enough about his patients, right? Um, they don't. The people with access to the information, right? So I chose to work in a certain field. I try to balance my life by trying to serve in other areas like the medical field. I try to consult my doctors. I follow the plan that I was given a long time ago after speaking to doctors and dentists, and a long time ago. You go to the dentist every 6 months. You visit a doctor once a year. Now I'm doing it more frequently. There are more doctors that I have to visit. Um, eye doctor once a year. Those are that's been the plan for a long time for anyone that wants to maintain a certain level of health. I've tried to stick to that as best as I possibly can. I've always enjoyed speaking to dentists and doctors because dentists and doctors in the past have always educated me, even and continue to educate me, even if I fall short. Um, because I'm not in the conversation. Like I'm not a dentist, so I'm not constantly worried about teeth, but I am worried about my teeth every single day, if you know what I'm saying, right? So you're supposed to brush your teeth after you eat. I try to do that as best as I possibly can, but I'll be stressed out about something else or someone else's issue. I'm trying to get control over my issue. This back issue is a bit more challenging. I've never been challenged this way, to have to think so hard about how to manage my back, simply because I haven't been in conversations or I didn't get access to the right material to tell me how to pay my bills and not work at all. Um, and that's what the conversation needs to be around for someone that has a back issue. If you ever hurt your back, sit at home, figure out what to do, and don't work at all. And then consult with the doctor, figure out a game plan, and then go for there. That was my plan as well, but that's not the reality. In an environment where it takes 2-3 weeks to visit a doctor, you can't get an appointment right away. Um, I didn't deem my issue as an emergency because my back, when I first heard it, it was quick. There was no pain afterwards that day. I didn't experience pain again until a couple of weeks later when I was asked to work extremely hard, lifting boxes. That's where I hurt my back. Prior to that, I was listening to what I know about back injuries as well. Um, that you're not supposed to work, right? So that's the conversation. You're not supposed to work. But I had listened to something I had heard somewhere else where they, you listen to people and their stories, it's like, oh, I can work differently, right? Not work at all, sit at home and just not work. I don't have a nest egg of savings. I'm someone who's had to work my entire life. I've been working since before I was 16 years of age. Tech, and there are different ways of working. Um, right now, I could probably work as a programmer, where I have to submit projects, working on a project, and my work goes into another project. But I don't think I could work in a service role where I have to entertain customers. Um, it's too much on me, which is why I chose project management. But there are technical project managers. Some teams you don't have to speak so much. Um, that's why I've been going back and forth. Well, not, I've been pushing towards project management, but more trying to get into a technical field with programming because I know that it's something I can work from home. I can do my projects at home. I actually created with Python a few years ago they call it GUI. It was like a Pac-Man game. It wasn't very hard to make. It took about a week. Um, maybe a career change. I need to find something that I can do that doesn't take a lot of stress. That isn't a lot of stress on my body. Obviously project timelines. Um, I just don't think that call center position that I'm in now is good for me. I never thought it would be. I think that if I didn't have this back issue, I could manage it a bit better. Um, but it's high stress. I don't know if I can do that job anymore. And just working these past 2 days is proof. Going in there was like a workout. My body's responding like a workout. I have to rest the entire day because my entire back is now hurting now because I was up. And I'll tell you what a typical day as a call center rep is. You get in, right? You go into work, you sit down, you have to log, you only get 10 minutes to log in. Doesn't give you enough time to check emails. But 10 minutes to log in, and then you're instantly on the phone. And then the way that the managers there interpret it, I try not to listen to them because that's just dumb. Like, they give you no time to do anything other than be on the phone. And if you look at the schedule, that's exactly what it shows, right? So if I work, the only thing that they allow for us to do is to be on the phones. Other than that, they don't allow for anything else. Maybe not even go into the restroom. Somebody will question it. It took a mountain just to get them to stop commenting on me, just going to the restroom. Like, oh, you're not something, something, something. I'm like, you can't question me about going to the restroom. If I go to the restroom, I'm going to the restroom. I need to respond to my body, and I need to, what's in it? I used to be scheduled, regular with everything, bowel movements, what's in it? And then I'm taking this job, and they are all over it. I've had other jobs that have had more freedom. When I was at Hertz, although it was stressful, there were maybe 2 days out of the year where I wasn't bogged down with work, and it was enough of a headache maybe in a week to give me the freedom to be able to continue to do my work. Because it's not that I didn't like Hertz. There are many aspects that I didn't like, things that I didn't know. Maybe I didn't read the job description properly, and you find out on the job that this is what it is. Um, yeah, I even remember in the past, I would apply to jobs based off of what I knew, right? So I knew how to do data analysis. It says that they want data analysis on the application. So I apply and my skills match, right? But they don't say what type of project they're working on. It could be a financial based project. I remember they didn't put in the rec that you need to know SQL on one of the jobs that I went to. So I struggled on the job, and I it was a contract. They let me go because I didn't know SQL, right? The guy above me knew SQL, but where I went to school, I didn't know that you needed to know SQL. I'm self-taught in many areas of like data analysis. I know how to use Excel. I've been using Excel in my business for years. But if there are 3 levels to Excel, I'm level 2. There are many functions that I just don't use, even though I'm familiar with them, like macros. I'm not using it, but that's a program, right? You can simplify your life with a macro if it's a task that you do frequently. Of course, like most tasks, programs, they don't work forever, um, because there's always a change to the environment that won't keep your program running. So you constantly have to keep updating. This is why you have apps that if you're a smartphone user, your apps are constantly updating. There are new changes to the new environment. Um, some apps last longer than others without changes, but things get old, XYZ. Um, Today, the only thing that I was able to do other than sleep, I did play a video game because I have to rest. It's the only way that I know how to recover my back with consultation with doctors. There's no plan. I haven't been given a plan to try to um, cure my back. I've kind of been on my own a lot. It's me calling the doctor. They don't call me. They send you like a text and you have to respond and you have to sign up. And a lot of that gets annoying. I know it's simpler for them and maybe for me too, because I can go back to it. But it's none of this is easy. No one tells you how to sign up for it. You have to know how to do it. They just in the environment. I don't. People expect for you to know what they know, right? Like the young girl in the dental office. I tried to explain to her. She was like, oh, she was asking about my teeth. Like, I don't have perfect teeth. Never have. Um, there are things that I had to learn when I was younger, and I've always just used what my dentist told me to keep my teeth in a certain way. I've used what the doctor and my parents told me too, like taking care. My mother's someone who's always tried to take care of her health, and I've always taken that into consideration as well. All right, this video is at 18 minutes. The purpose of me making this video was to update this video log and you on my progress of me trying to recover my back. A lot of this is me trying to educate myself on how to do this with minimal input from doctors. It's hard to get someone to actually care about you. And that's true. In this environment, it is hard to get someone to actually care, other than my family, right? So I'm going to finish my video. I'm going to publish one video. I'm going to try to upload these. I was having trouble uploading the last 3 videos that I've tried to upload with YouTube. I recorded one video this morning, rested the entire day. My entire back was hurting. I got a chance to get some food. And then tomorrow I'm going to work on my food for the next couple of days, making sure that I'm eating and making sure that I'm resting. And I'm supposed to do my daily workouts, which are no weights. This is from physical therapy. No weights. Minutes restriction, obviously. I mean, not minutes restriction, but a weight restriction. I'm gonna push for a minutes restriction. Because I've been tired all day. This is the most that I've been able to do is just make a video, and I'm getting tired again. So I'm gonna go ahead and get off, and then try to Try to update the video log. Gonna keep trying. All right. All right. Thank you for watching this video. My name's RJ. Signing out.